Hey guys, I am back with a Bible study for you guys today. The Bible study is the story and the fall of Satan. The Bible indicates that Satan was originally a high-ranking angel, often identified as a cherubim. The appearance of the cherubims in the Bible come from Ezekiel 1:5-10. Also from within it came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. Each one had 4 faces, and each one had 4 wings. Their legs were straight, and the soles of their feet were like the soles of calves' feet. They sparkled like the color of burnished bronze. The hands of a man were under their wings on their 4 sides, and each one of the 4 had faces and wings. Their wings touched one another. The creatures did not turn when they went, but each one went straight forward. As for the likeness of their faces, each one had the face of a man. Each of the 4 had the face of an ox on the left side, and each of the 4 had the face of an eagle. Before his fall, Lucifer is described in the Bible as a highly exalted, anointed cherub who covers. His description is in Ezekiel 28:12-15. Son of man, take up a lamentation for the king of Tyre, and say to him, Thus says the Lord God, you were the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was your covering, the sardius, topaz, and diamond, beryl, onyx, and jasper, sapphire, turquoise, and emerald with gold. The workmanship of your timbrels and pipes was prepared for you on the day you were created. You were the anointed cherub who covers. I established you. You were on the holy mountain of God. You walked back and forth in the midst of fiery stones. You were perfect in your ways from the day you were created till iniquity was found in you. The king of Tyre refers to the earthly ruler of the city, likely King Ethbal or Hiram the Great. This passage uses dual prophecy, describing the prince's pride in terms that also mirror the fall of Satan, who was once a magnificent guardian cherub in Eden before his rebellion. Where we get Satan's name, Lucifer, is in Isaiah 14:12. How you are fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. How you are cut down to the ground, you weakened the nations. In Hebrew, Lucifer is Hallel, and that means morning star or shining one. The first use of Satan in the Bible is 1 Chronicles 21:1. It says, Now Satan stood up against Israel and moved David to number Israel. In Hebrew, Satan means adversary or accuser. Lucifer's role in heaven, that's Ezekiel 28:14. You were the anointed cherub who covers. I established you. You were on the holy mountain of God. You walked back and forth in the midst of fiery stones. This verse shows Lucifer as a covering cherub before his rebellion. It describes an incredibly exalted, divine-like appointed cherub, a high-ranking protector in God's presence. This suggests a position of intense privilege, wisdom, and authority. Also, it is believed Lucifer was potentially a leader of worship due to the mention of timbrels and pipes in verse 13. The timbrel or toph in Hebrew is a small hand drum or tambourine, and the pipe or flute was a wind instrument. Satan's fall is in Isaiah 14:12-15. How you are fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. How you are cut down to the ground, you who weaken the nations. For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit on the mount of the congregation on the farthest sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, yet you shall be brought down to Sheol, to the lowest depths of the pit. It's also in Ezekiel 28:15 through 18. You were perfect in your ways from the day you were created till iniquity was found in you. By the abundance of your trading, you became filled with violence within, and you sinned. Therefore I cast you as a profane thing out of the mountain of God, and I destroyed you, O covering cherub, from the midst of the fiery stones. Your heart was lifted up because of your beauty. You corrupted your wisdom for the sake of your splendor. I cast you to the ground. I laid you before kings that they might gaze at you. You defiled your sanctuaries by the multitude of your iniquities, by the iniquity of your trading. Therefore I brought from fire from your midst. It devoured you, and I turned you to ashes upon the earth in the sight of all who saw you. In Luke 10:18, Jesus describes Satan's fall. It says, and he said to them, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Revelations also talks about it in Revelation 12:4. His tail drew a third of the stars of heaven and threw them to the earth. Also in 12:9, so the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So, in summary, it could presume that Lucifer was the leader of worship in heaven, and that Lucifer became extremely prideful and wanted to dethrone God and take his power. So God cast him out of heaven along with 1/3 of the angels who followed Satan. Now there's a vacancy of worship leader in heaven. God could have created a new angel to fill that vacancy. Or did he give that job to another angel? Maybe. We don't know. We know that Satan fell and God created man. Since God knew us from the very foundation of the world and he foresaw everything, is it possible that God created mankind to fill that vacancy of worship in heaven? So the very thing that Satan was created for is now the very thing that we as God's children use as warfare against him. God uses our worship against Satan to defeat him. Psalm 149:6 says, let the high praises of God be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. This verse highlights praise as a spiritual weapon for spiritual warfare. Worship shifts our focus from fear and circumstances to God's greatness, weakening the enemy's influence. It's also an act of faith and surrender, declaring God's sovereignty and allowing him to fight our battles. Worship just isn't adoration. It's engaging in spiritual combat, bringing breakthroughs and manifesting God's authority. I hope this blesses you guys today. It was a good 2 days of just gathering information, but I'm still working on a couple other ones. I hope you guys have a great day. God bless you guys. See you next time.